Okay.
Good afternoon. Glad to be back with you. All my babies all over the world. I was so excited from last week for being back for the first time in what like 2 3 years, and it really made me feel good. It really made me feel good that a lot of you hadn't forgotten me. Because I felt like, wow, they probably forgot who I even am, So, you know, why even bother, old lady. And I thought I would give it a try and everything, but, I was really taken out by your response, and it goes to show that people don't forget you that quick. And I'd like to thank you all. Tell you how much I love you. Everybody needs a little bit of that. Sprinkle that little bit of dust around, and you'd be surprised, like the way of the world now, because we all need that. But I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, so I guess they don't want to leave their name or anything. So the first one says, "Oh yeah, make sure y'all thumbs up this video and share it on Facebook and Twitter." It says, "I have a question that I would like Mama Scorpion to answer and get your opinion on as well." Well, I ain't gonna give my opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead. "I'm a young woman in a great relationship with a guy for a little over 4 years. We have lived together for about the same time. Recently, his mom and her husband have moved in with us. I'm cool with them. They are nice people, but having them there is putting a damper on our relationship. We are not as sexually active. We are arguing more about this because they are a bit trifling. Don't clean up behind themselves. Don't want to help with any household chores. Don't want to pay their half of the mortgage on time, and just causing a tussle with my boyfriend and I. True indeed, we were making it fine before them in our 1 bedroom alone, but we got a 2 bedroom because they said they could handle half of this new mortgage because they said they were down on their luck. Now these people are in perfectly good health and work paying jobs. If they got all that, why are they staying with us? I still don't know. I talked to my boyfriend about these things that he needs to speak up on, and he will say something to them, but that shit goes through one ear and out the other. But if I'm saying something to them, I'm being a bitch and nagging. I talk in a respectful tone towards them, but damn, I don't like nasty people. Dishes from breakfast still in the sink at 11 p.m., and I work first shift, so I'm not there for that. Eating everything down to the last bit before saying we need more. Don't that sound familiar? Honestly, it's like living with young kids. I've cleaned up behind them many times, and I'm becoming tired of the situation. And I don't want to see his mother living in a shelter ever. But damn, when they going to get their stuff together and go? Please help me on what I should do. Thanks."
Well, first thing, if you get it together, if he get it together or tell him bye. Because obviously you don't need him. You've been together 4 or 5 years. You've got a good job. He's got a good job. Mom's got a good job, and so does Dad. So who needs who? Maybe y'all needed each other in the beginning, but somebody outgrew somebody along the way. And I think that if everyone doesn't do their part, then somebody has to go. You constantly finding out that you have to do the cleaning up. You don't have no babies. You didn't say anything about no babies. And you find yourself constantly having to clean up, put things away, wash dishes, this and that. I didn't think you was a maid. You didn't say nothing about being a maid. But sometimes that happens to us. And you sound like you're pretty young, but you're not a fool. and you're reaching your pinnacle. You're really reaching it, and it doesn't make any sense to get to that point whereas you explode and you're getting ready to get there. And before you do that, you and him really need to sit down and talk with each other and find out where do you want to go now. You found out where you wanted to go then. You try to help him out. Try to help him out with his parents. They're your in-laws. Or when you didn't say anything about being married. You just said being together, living together. And you know what it's going to be like when if you do marry him. That's a lot to think about. And I think if you can't get it together after 4 or 5 years, you don't know what you want or where you want to go. And you should have been married anyway after that length of time being together, because you know him pretty good and he knows you pretty good. And if you can't get along, or if this is ripping the seam out of what you had, maybe you didn't have that much in there in the beginning anyway. But you didn't need anybody to disturb it or to make it any worse than what it is. Like I said, you and him need to sit down and talk about it. And if you can't get anywhere with it, say goodbye. Because that's not for you anymore. You done outgrew that situation.
Excuse me.
You done outgrew it. And you're not for it, so let it go. And it's better to do that than somebody get hurt saying foul things to each other, because it's too much negativity out here nowadays. And you don't need to go through that with them. They acting like they're kids. They're on vacation. If you treat them like they're on vacation, then they'll be on vacation. Leave them dishes in the sink and see how high they'll pile up. Ignore them. Get yourself some paper plates. Or they don't like the place being dirty. See how it'll go for a week or two. See what's being said about that. Try little experiments. And if that don't work, say goodbye to the situation. I understand that's his mother and his dad, and I understand he loves them. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And he has to be able at some time in his life to stand up on his own 2 feet. He can stand up on his own 2 feet and beg for what he want to beg from you. So he should be able to stand up on his own 2 feet and let his parents know this is not what's happening. And either, you get it together, or you're going to have to get yourself in a senior citizen place. They got senior citizen places for them. Really nice places. And that's what it's time for them to get themselves a senior citizen place. Look into it. Find out what the requirements are. And go from there. But if you can't get nowhere, don't hang in there. Swinging and fighting and cussing and sweating and carrying on. Say goodbye. Adios. Because it's not for you anymore.
Okay. So this next email is from Miss G. Hey, Miss G. It says, "Good evening, Mom Scorpion. Please advise me on this matter. I lost my mom on November 20th, 2013. I have a sister and 2 brothers. We are all in our 40s except little brother. He is in his 30s. I have always been an outcast and did not grow up with them. We all knew of each other, but we did not know each other. Mommy always knew I feared that my siblings wouldn't do right by me as far as my mommy's affairs. I have not gotten my complete 1/4 of my mommy's money. I asked for paperwork to see how the money is to be split. No paperwork, so they say. It was agreed pictures and documents will be copied and dispersed in January. I reached out to them. No one replied Neither no reply from one brother, and the other brother says he isn't able to deal with looking at the pictures. I asked him, I asked for him to overnight the pictures to me, and I will overnight them back in 24 hours. He said no. I want closure. I want to change my number and move on, but I can't because this isn't resolved. Once this is over, I will never see or speak to them again. I have been in the hospital for 18 days straight for anxiety and panic attacks. My question is, how do I let go and let God? I have tried. I want to be healthy for my own kids. My siblings know that I'm in the hospital. They don't care. They still sending me anything. They still not sending me anything before they are ready. Mommy is not happy with this. Please advise me how to move on. This is so unfair and not right. And it has always been them three against me. Always. Thanks in advance. I stay prayed up.
Well, what's changed? Here it is. You sitting there running yourself crazy over what? You say it's always been that way. So what's the difference? Now that she died, it's supposed to be any different? You knew they wasn't going to give you nothing. So what you sitting there with, but you can't live without that? What's a nickel and a dime? You know what? Let me tell you something, baby. I don't have no sisters or brothers. I always wished I did. I grew up with a younger uncle of mine because my grandmother had a lot of children. And I grew up with him rather. He was under me. And I took him almost everywhere I went. We loved each other. We were each other's companion. Even though I didn't have that sister or brother, he was like that to me. Everybody thought he was my brother. I never treated him any different. I never thought of it any different. But let me tell you, so life is short. If you've been happy with your life, with your children or your husband or whatever so far, and because of your mom's death and the three amigos have gotten on you, let that go. You don't need that. What do you need it for? Here it is, you spending money in the hospital for what? Worrying about a nickel and a dime. You know, we can't get along in this world without money to pay the bills and the things that we need. But we don't need it to the extent where it makes us sick and unhappy. We need to learn how to love each other more. You guys need love more than you do that money. If they want it, let them keep it. Let them be happy. Because you know what? Sooner or later, they'll find out that that's not what's happening. What you going to do if they come to your door and ask you for a glass of water? You know, it's hard to be Jesus. Jesus, his way of life is the right way of life, but it's hard. When somebody asks you for a glass of water, who's always throwing shitballs at you, who never gave you the time of day. You know, but you need to forgive them. Forgive them. Let it go, because it ain't worth it. And worrying about what she left you, if she left you all that much, what she left you was her love. And you're going to have to be satisfied with that. And if you can't be satisfied with the love that she gave you, I don't know what to tell you. I could tell you to leave them alone. You want to get a lawyer? That's the best thing you could do, is to get a lawyer. Let him look into it, rather than dealing with them personally. Dealing with them personally has made it so that you're sick. Like you say, you've been in the hospital 3 weeks for what? Somebody wouldn't give you the time of day, have never given you the time of day all them years. You the youngest baby. Guess what? Tell them bye. You don't need it. Adios. That's the best thing you could do for yourself, for your children, and your health. You don't need that little bit them falling out over a few pennies. Shame on you. Let it go.
All right. The next question is, I would love to hear your mother's advice on how to move on from a long-term relationship when the person just ups and walk away.
Well, I tell you like the man said, when it flies away and it don't come back, then you know it was never yours in the beginning. It didn't come back, so it was never yours. So I guess now you want to know what happened and what did you do wrong, or am I a bad person? And stand up and look in the mirror. You like yourself. If you don't, do something about it. If you think you need to lose a couple pounds, you think you need to change your lifestyle or the things that you're doing. But you know what? When you've been with somebody a long time and they up and going, they've been going a long time their own self. And when I say that, they just had nerve enough to do what you didn't have nerve enough to do. It wasn't that you didn't know about that. Come on now. Who you fooling? You know that every woman knows. She may not like to know. She may not want to know. But somewhere deep inside of here, you know when something is not right. It's not the first time. You expected it. You just didn't know when. You knew it was coming. So it's here. So you know what you do? Keep on getting up. Ease on down the road. Get yourself together and ease on down that road. Say bye. Bye-bye. Because guess what? That was something both of y'all wanted anyway. He just did it quicker than you.
Have anybody just walked away from you like that?
Yeah. And you know what I did? I packed them things. I packed them. And I let them go because you can't make somebody want you who don't want you. You want to run behind somebody that you've been snoring in their faces for years. And all of a sudden they decide that they don't want you and you going to run behind them. You let it go. God didn't make just one. He made many. You know, maybe try something a little different from what you had the last time. You ain't say how old you was, but try a little something different. Sometimes little different flavors, you know.
Okay. So the next question is, I'm a 21-year-old female college student. I have been living with my roommate now for about 1.5 years. After about a month of me living here, her boyfriend started living with us as well. No job, no
party.
no job, no life, no nothing. For free. She did not come and talk to me about any of this. However, I did not mind it at all. The only time she really mentioned it was when she told me that I would pay 1/3 of the utilities for the month he would be there. He stayed for a few months until they broke up for good. Now my best friend, who is a gay black male, is in desperate need of a place to stay. I have talked to my roommate about the situation and have asked her for her blessing to let him live with us for a short time. My friend agreed to pay 1/3 of the utilities, just as what I had to pay when her boyfriend was living here. However, she is having mixed feelings about him coming and sleeping on the couch. She feels that when she gets home from work and wants to hang out and watch TV in the living room, that she does not want to have to kick my friend out. Also, she also demands that he pays $100 towards the rent and a third for the utilities. But then again, it seems as if she does not want him here at all. Please, Mama Scorpion, I need some guidance on how to go about moving in my friend and maintaining a solid relationship with my roommate. Thanks, Roommate Blues.
Oh, you can't be that stupid. Now you know damn well she don't want him there. You know, some people, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It was all right when she did it, but it ain't all right for you. Then again, you never know. You get that third party in there, you can't say she might not want to hump on that, so, you know. Best thing I could tell you to do with that, if you want him in there, girl, move it in there. You're not going and put him in there. Y'all friends, right? That's all y'all are. You ain't gonna ride that horse, are you? Well, ain't none of my business whether you do or you don't. But if he's truly a friend and he really do need your help, give him that help for he needed what he needs. And just hope and pray that in the process of it all, you know, that you can all accept one another. You know, because there's going to come a time where people are going to have to bundle up and live with each other again like we used to. At one time, your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandmother, and every damn body lived together. I know in my family, they did. Because I knew my great-grandmother. She was a mess, too. She always remembered who you were. And there was a lot of us. My grandmother had 18 kids. She remembered who you were, and she'd give you $1. You look at it nowadays, what's $1? And that dollar meant a lot. You know why? Because she remembered you. At her age, she was, 89? But she still remembered who you were. And she give you that dollar with that twinkle in her eye, like, you know, like it was $1 million.
All right, this is the last one. Come on, cat. Am I being petty? I would like to know you guys' input on my situation. So just a few months ago, I got into a huge argument with one of my friends since the 6th grade. I am now a freshman in college, Morehouse, by the way. The friendship I had with her, Spellman, already began to diminish, but this huge argument ended our relationship completely. Because of this argument, her roommate obviously took her side, and the relationship I had started with her ended as well. Now, finally, this is the issue. Before the fallout with both my former friend and her roommate, I introduced the both of them to my homeboy from college, and ever since the fallout, he's been secretly hanging out with them and neglecting our friendship. I've asked him multiple times if he wanted to hang with me, and he would say yes, but then cancel after a few hours. They have a car and I don't, so he prefers to hang out with them. My questions are, should I be angry at him for hanging out with my former friends after knowing what they did to me? Should I continue to be friends with him? And do you think I should approach him or them or just leave it alone?
Well, he's been your friend since, we used to say, the 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, one of the friends that she broke up her friendship with, they've been friends since the 6th grade, and now they don't talk no more.
Well, they outgrew each other. I won't say they broke up. They outgrew each other. People outgrow each other in attitudes, ways, and what they want and where they want to go into this world. People outgrow each other. That's not altogether a bad thing, not unless you outgrew each other by fighting and carrying on and something that's not really necessary. But, you don't have to argue about it. Let it go. I mean, if he wants to be friends, people can be friends with whoever they choose to be. You can't pick people's friends. You can't tell them I want you to be just my friend. We're not going to talk to them over there because we better than them or whatever. That's silly. Everybody can have the friends who they want to have. You know, and as long as you love each other and try to understand what's going on in each other's mind, or that your people's ups and their downs, but it's not worth getting in a thing over. Just let it go. Keep on growing the way you're growing. Keep going to college, getting that knowledge, whatever else. You're going to meet hundreds of other peoples, maybe thousands, according to in which way you're going in life. And don't worry about that little friendship. God will hook you up again. You know. So just take it easy on that and let it go.
All right. Anything you want to say in closing? Because this to wrap up.
Well, today, like I said, I'm always excited. But when I get a chance to let everybody know, I'm back again. But and that you seem fit to come to me to ask me what I think about something, because everybody don't always think the same. But sometimes life takes us through so many different channels and so many different turns and ups and downs. One day you're happy and one day you're not. It's just like having it today and tomorrow you don't have a damn thing. You got a house today, tomorrow you don't have nothing. You have friends today, tomorrow you don't have anything. And life is like that sometimes. And you have to learn how to deal with it, whether you like it or not. Life has its ups and its downs, and its forwards, backwards, ins and outs. That's why God gave us two sides to everything, two sides to every story. It's not just your side. Sometimes it's their side. And you have to learn how to work with it. You can learn how to work with it in life. Learn how to look for change. You don't want everything to stay the same all the time. Life would be boring as hell if it all stayed the same. We all did the same thing. Everybody dressed the same way. And for God's sake, everybody looking the same way. Woo! I'm telling you, boys, some mooses out there. But we could be willing to accept change. Don't close yourself up into that little box where, you can't accept no kind of change whatsoever. Be willing to make that change. Be willing to grow. Because life goes on. And we're going to get older every day. Our attitude, our mind. And another thing. As you get older, learn how to keep with that exercise. Work with it. Don't sit there and be 999 pounds and say, "Oh, I wonder why my legs hurt me." Or, "Well, I can't get down these steps." Exercise yourself. Take yourself to the gym. Get somebody to take you to the gym. Go to the YMCA. I'm talking about basically seniors and who have nothing to do with themselves. Don't sit in the house. Get up off your bum. Go take that little walk around the block 4 or 5 times a day. Go get into something. Go get into playing checkers or cards or with people who still want to live. Because just because they tell you you're a senior don't mean you are, because that don't mean you're a senior inside. You can look like a senior on the outside and feel like you're 10 on the inside. I know I did when you sit down and think about some of the things you did when you was a kid, I laugh about it now because, and stop scratching me. I laugh about it now because I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I had more freedom now, had more freedom then than I had now. You know, somebody's, you don't need to eat that. You don't need this. Yeah, when you call my damn mother. You know, hey, look, I'm gonna ride this bus. I ain't sitting in the back. I'm sitting right up there at front. And if I can, I'm gonna go where I want to go. You know, let me tell you something. I was in I believe I was in my 40s. Well, at the time, there was a Strawbridges where I live at. And I was in there, called myself catching a sale. So I was going up the escalator, and I happened to look over, and there was my grandmother going down the escalator. Well, she was in her late 60s, early 70s, out by herself, child, catching the sale, getting what she wanted. Hey, Grandma, hey. Honey, she looked like past me like she didn't even know me. I said, well, she didn't want me to tell her, what you doing out here trying to buy? I thought you didn't have no money. If I did, it ain't none of your business. Stop trying to get in my business. Stop trying to run my life. I don't need you to run my life. I need you to make my life better for me. And if I have only today or tomorrow, I need you to make it better for me. Not miserable. Good night.